Oke. Semoga tidak nge-lag ya. Terus 42, terus 37, waduh. Aku cek. Akhirnya muncul, ditunggu bang. Oke. Udah mulai problemnya. Udah sih seharusnya nih. Coming soon. Udah jam 8 nih sih. Udah jam 8 nih sih. Waduh, kok bocor. Ada Surya. Gila gaming. Kok nggak aku kopi? Nah, what's now? Udah nih kan?
What am I doing? Well, obviously I'm here scouting out the place. I've been investigating the area and I've already figured out all the plans for the event. Of course, I can tell you all the details. We're practically
Nah, ini kayaknya koneksiku nih yang ini.
family. What?
Ngelag ya nih. Ya sih. Koneksinya apa emang dari sana ya?
A friendly word of advice.
Nobar ya. Live stream turu, real turu. Wah, ini sih koneksiku kayak sih. Ya, ngelag anjir. Loncatnya parah kali anjir.
In that case, I'll take some time for myself now. Squall and Fury.
Gak apa-apa buriknya. Internetku lagi down soalnya.
You dare to gaze upon me?
Nah, Faruzan. Senjatanya stringless sih.
Have fun with this gift.
Stringless kita lihat nih.
Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
Langsung coding atau aja. Akhirnya udah rilis, sekarang turun lagi nunggu Raiden Rairan real itu coba. Aku lupa anjir. In game-nya belum tamatin aja. Oh anjir. Kodenya oke, thank you Ndra. Thank you.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin Impact. And today I'm
Lumine is
joined
canon.
by
Max, the one and only middleman, voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, it's a really cool fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I'm super excited to have the chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Yeah, that trailer had everything. It had everything. It had action.
Ini berarti
It
itu Rairan ya?
had drama. It was lighthearted in
Itu
places, but it
sama
was dramatic.
siapa?
Yeah.
Raiden.
Dude, I'm just super
Ini
stoked
lo
for
Raiden
everyone to
Rairan
see
bagus ya,
Scaramouche's like backstory. I'm super excited about it for reals.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's wanting to know is how he'll become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest interlude chapter in version of Genesis. There is so much to learn in this quest, so I hope everyone checks it out.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone hanging like that. How about some hints? Come on, please. Please.
All right. How can I say no?
Berharap pada
to
guru.
Chibido? You can't. Here's a little preview from the quest.
Semoga ada ya. Tapi katanya guru gratis sih.
We ran into two people
Yang
at the
V, Chong
academia
Yun,
today talking about an essay.
sama siapa lagi satu?
Turns out their topic was about
Itu
the Tatarasuna incident.
prediksi gue sih.
From what
Chong
they
Yun
were
kayaknya bakal
saying,
gini sih,
it
bintang
sounded like
4 ya.
lots of Tatarasuna's
Chong Yun
history
yang
is
V
still
mungkin.
unexplained. And most
Satu
of the
siapa ya?
information we have now is just from people filling the
Kalau
gaps
guru
with their
bagus sih.
imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Tatarasuna.
Oh,
Pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It is interesting, though, to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
Yeah, but in this interlude chapter, Nahida will task the Traveler and Paimon with keeping an eye on Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Oh, interesting. So obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Ooh, dude's looking sharp.
Heck yeah, always. No, right. And at this point, he's known by a completely different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay, so I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean, it looks like he's really changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story
Kok
for
bisa
themselves
Wanderer
in game.
namanya?
I mean, it's better to explore the storyline without too many spoilers, right?
True.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, we'll leave the rest for travelers to discover themselves. But the Wanderer is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3, so let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at the Wanderer in combat.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
The wind
Iya.
rises.
Waduh, ini Wanderer bintang 5 anime Xiao ketar-ketir nih ya.
Bow your head.
Xiao gameplay loncat-loncat doang. Nah, anjir bisa gitu.
All right, Patrick, you're up. Help introduce the
Malah
Wanderer
yang
for us.
Nahidanya yang
Sure
dihilangin sih.
thing. The
Wanderer yang
Wanderer
di
is a catalyst user and has an animo vision,
Di-
so he
gini
uses
sih.
wind blades to perform ranged normal attacks.
Wait a second, wind blades?
Not the same as the
yang mau
Traveler's wind
titik
blade.
titik P ya, hanya
So
titik
as
P ya.
everyone
Titik
probably
2
already
P.
noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air when he casts his elemental skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So while hovering, the Wanderer's normal and charge attacks will be converted into Kugo Fushudan and Kugu Tofukai respectively. The damage they
Anjay.
deal and their AoE
Malah
will be
terbang-terbang
increased.
gaming
Their
ya.
damage will be
Lawan
considered normal and charge attack damage,
apa
respectively.
namanya dinosaurus
Also, Kugu
buntung.
Tofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome! He can fly!
I know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While
Man,
hovering,
freeze.
the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which is the blue meter you see on the screen. Even if he doesn't move or attack, hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Oh,
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little differently than our typical
kalau buat
stamina
terbang
meter.
doang yang
There
biru.
are many possible
Birunya
actions
habis,
the Wanderer
pakai yang
can
kuning
perform
gitu.
while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for example, sprinting mid-air will consume
tough ya
additional
dia.
Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So, this effect will replace his
Bebas ngasih
default
nama
sprint.
Wanderer ya.
Jumping
Buat
expends
times
extra
yogurt power
Kuguryoku
crate.
points to increase hovering
Agril
height.
kah?
Holding jump will cause persistent
Nah, ini
Kuguryoku
sih
point
lagi
consumption
terbang-terbang
to keep
gaming anjir.
increasing hovering height. Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers will need to plan their actions while hovering.
Exactly.
Seperti teaser
with
ya,
his
gokil
talent,
kayaknya.
Jade Claim Flower, when casting his elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So, for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. The Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
Oh, look, check that out. Part of the halo behind him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So, after unlocking another talent, Gales
Creative
of
mode.
Reverie, when the Wanderer is in a hovering
Creative
state, if
destruction.
his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another
Bener ya
buff
itu nama
effect,
nama gamenya.
allowing him to sprint
Aku lupa sih
mid-air
yang
without consuming
plagiat-
Kuguryoku points.
Plagiat Fortnite
Additionally,
ini.
this buff effect will fire
Creative
wind arrows to
destruction
attack
atau
the
apa
enemy.
namanya.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the
Emote only
Wanderer's
ya.
elemental burst.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon unleashing his burst, he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy. So, travelers should note that if the Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little
Itu
aggressive.
Yeah,
nggak
but it's
one
cool.
hit sih.
I know, and it actually suits his character.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Overtime tuh.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer
Jadi
can
demek.
decrease the mora required
Loh, kok
when
nggak
ascending
nggak
walls and
level
catalysts.
90?
Now, you can never complain about saving Mora. Am I
Oh,
right?
Bu dan
Yeah,
Katalis.
true. All right,
Kayak
now that we've
ibunya
seen
nih.
the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character.
Kalau Raiden
Are you
kan
ready?
tombak sama
I'm
pedang.
ready.
Yay!
Tombak sama pedang. Nah ini Bu Katalis.
What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Farozan, and I'll see if I can pick that up. Huh? What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments?
Dia nggak sekarang masuk.
Wait. Did you forget to call me Madam Farozan just now when you asked your question? Whoa! What? What?
Dijadiin keprek
There's
tuh.
nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Kayak gini sih apa namanya?
So sassy.
Yeah, and smart too.
Apa ya di
She
Inazuma
seems
Eleven
so
tuh aku
awesome.
lupa aja.
He's fun.
I wonder what they're smirking
I
at.
know, her design is so cool and really detailed. I love it.
Ho
So, even though she
Horyui.
looks super
Siapa tuh?
young, she's actually an old person? Like, where's my teeth?
Well, she's not that old.
Oh,
I
right.
could've fooled me.
Faruzan's age is probably still nothing compared to Scaramouche.
Mm-hmm. But let's call him the Wanderer, Sarah. Please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's right, yeah, no, and speaking of age, isn't the traveler's age also kind of mysterious?
Mm-hmm, that's true. It looks like all of our characters are intriguing. But it's safe to say that Faruzan is way older than most people in Tibet. Faruzan works in the academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
So I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature blessed with long life, you know? Like Klee?
200 orang yang
No,
nonton.
she's actually just your regular, typical human being.
Oh.
Well, maybe not so typical. About 100 years ago, Faruzan was an undisputed genius, traveling all around Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries. The notes she left behind eventually became the basis of mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa, she sounds pretty amazing.
But later, she accidentally stumbled into some
Pegang
ruins
full
while
screen
trying to
ya
solve
biar
a
bisa
puzzle.
lihat emot.
There, she encountered some strange
Stream
phenomenon which
chatnya.
stopped her from aging,
Walaupun
and
cuma
was trapped
emot
there
doang.
for nearly 100 years. She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Can you imagine being trapped in a puzzle for 100 years? Wait. So that's how she's been hairbod for over a century.
Kayak
Yeah.
siapa ya di
And
sini?
even now, she still has the pride of a
Bentar,
scholar in
ini
her heart and
pakai
is a very
popok
talented
kah?
person. It's just that after
Apakah
being separated from
dia
the
pakai
world for
popok
so
seperti
long,
Hayukk kah?
she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Ayah pakai popok deh nih.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Iya.
She was once a proud researcher in a niche
Nih,
field that has become
kayaknya
unpopular
popok sih.
after 100 years. So, is she still completely dedicated to her field?
Yep. And she often tries using her old age as a
Haroyui.
means of drumming up
Nah,
support
pengisi
for her
suaranya
ideas.
nih. Faruzan.
However, I think she'd prefer to
Entah
be
siapa
complained
itu ya.
about for using her seniority rather than garnering sympathy for her experience of being trapped in the ruins.
Yeah, sounds like she's quite the character.
I know, right? Okay, so now that we've covered her backstory, why don't we take a look at Faruzan's abilities in combat?
Let's do it.
Fight, 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 fight.
100 years have passed, yet there hasn't been any change to the
Nah, itu
dumb
stringless
rules
ya.
of academia. Dare to mess with me? Have fun with this gift!
I love all the geometric shapes when she's playing. Did you guys see that?
Yes, there's so
crazy.
much geometry. And I took geometry.
It looks so cool.
Ah, yeah.
So, Faruzan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the usual bow attacks.
Anjir, ini
with the
VA-nya
bow
gini,
user,
Ndra.
so there's not too
VA-nya
much to say about
Saren,
that.
Cuk.
But her skills are where things get interesting. Her
VA-nya
elemental skill
Saren, Cuk.
deploys a polyhedron that deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex, pulling nearby objects and opponents in.
Oh, nice. So she can clump enemies together.
And there's also another thing about her special charge attack. It will create a vortex effect
Tai.
at its point of impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or
bener
ally
kan,
member, it'll apply a mark and
Kan itu
create a
alasan
vortex after a
juga
short
Zack.
delay.
Kenapa gue gak full screen
So
kan?
it looks like there'll be a lot
Biar
of potential
ngeliat
uses for this
emot.
attack. Travelers
Siapa
will
tahu
have to
ya, siapa
experiment
tahu
with it and
misalnya
see what they come up with.
pas karakter
Yeah, I
ini
think it'd be amazing to try
keluar
hitting
nih kan kayak
teammates
ini
with the arrow in
ditampilin.
co-op mode and have them
Nah,
charge
emot-emot
into the
kayak
enemies to
emot
group them
apa
all
ya?
together. I'll
Contohnya
have to see who wants to try that
orang-orang
with me.
nyepam emot. Nah, ini emot
After
ngantuk
unlocking
nih.
the talent
Siapa
Impetuous
tahu
Flow,
gitu.
the time required for fully charging Faruzan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's ammo resistance. In her elemental burst, she deploys a dazzling polyhedron and releases a
Ya
whirlwind
emot ini
pulse.
Pak.
Throughout
Thanks.
its duration,
Thanks
the
purgi.
dazzling polyhedron will
Purgi.
continuously move along a
Nah, kan ada
triangular
nih
path.
emot apa
Once it
namanya
reaches
lupa.
each corner of that
Sounds good,
triangular
nah.
path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, next she's polygon.
Siapa
For
kayak Jepang
100
kayak
years.
Pacan. Pacan tuh yang ini kan. Itu ada yang dari kan kolek tuh sih.
Sino's jokes are funnier than that.
Kan kolek tuh game. Game apa anime ini?
Anyway, let's hear what effects these whirlwind pulses have.
Sure. When the whirlwind pulse hits opponents, it will decrease their animo resistance. It will also apply an animo damage buff effect to all nearby party members when it's unleashed. Travelers should
Tidak
note that the effective range
perlu
of this buff
Genshin
is quite
Impact ya.
large, and it's not just within the
Berarti
whirlwind
pakai
pulse itself,
Faruzan
so
nih,
there's no
gokil
need to
ya.
go chasing the polyhedron.
Oke.
After unlocking her talent, Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when a team member uses normal, charged, or plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to deal animo damage to an enemy,
Nah, ini sama
the damage
si
will increase based on
Wanderer juga
Faruzan's base
bisa.
attack. This effect can only be triggered once for a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it seems she'll be the solid
Oh,
support.
my bad.
Totally! And as a researcher
Bener,
of
Horo
mechanics
Yui,
and
iya,
puzzles,
bener.
Faruzan has
Never
taken
mind.
it upon herself
Nothing
to
to
explore
expect
many ruins,
from a
with her
new
travels taking her
but
all
star
across
character.
Sumeria. Her exploration talent
Nah, ini
reflects
Faruzan nih.
and she gains more rewards when
Ganti
dispatched
gini
on a
Genshin
Sumeru
Impact ya.
expedition for 20 hours.
I'm sure no other mentor
Kali dua aja
in Lavatot
ekspedisi
has
aja.
100 years of experience in solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say that's pretty hard to beat.
Tadi bilang
So,
animoresis
the
kan.
big question is,
Animoresis
when
apa
travelers
tuh ya?
expect to get these new characters?
Apa aku salah
That
denger ya?
is a good question.
Budak
Let's talk
gaming
about the
kayaknya.
upcoming event wishes. In the early part of version 3.3, the
Yoi,
Wanderer and
Vyasaren.
Arataki Ita
Real.
will be available via their own event
Wanderer
wishes.
Arataki itu.
Faruzan will also be making her debut in these event
Easy
wishes.
skip nih.
In the later part of version 3.3,
Nah, ini.
we'll be seeing rerun event wishes for both the Raiden Shogun and Kamisato Ayato. And
Bentar.
last but not least,
Anjir,
the
kalau
new
dapat
5-star
senjatanya,
catalyst, Tule Tule's Remembrance, will be
dapat
appearing in a
senjatanya
new
ayah
weapon
tuh.
event wish.
Kasih siapa
And
ya?
that's not all. In version 3.3, two
Anjir,
brand new artifact
skenario
series will
terburuk tuh,
become
anjir.
available. So travelers should be sure to check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
Halo Bang Iza, welcome.
I hope travelers will have fun experimenting and
artifact.
trying new combinations with
This
these.
Kilometer
Yeah.
Mastery.
Okay, we've already talked about a ton of new content, so why don't we take a quick break with another redemption code?
Sounds good. Roll out the code.
Woohoo!
Itu artefak barunya juga sih. Nggak sempet baca anjir. Ngajin bang, tidak. Pancolek mah game. Kapal-kapal kan. Wah, Hayatu, iya Hayatu ya. Buat yang nyari Hayatu guys ya. Impu Raiden setelah gini Wanderer sama Hayatu bang Zah 3.3 tuh itu kayaknya Raiden rilis anda gini ya KKN ya anda KKN ya yang arti nyupain real tuh. Genshin collab sama BTS kapan bang? Jangan Fer, kamu
Welcome back to the version
menyatukan
3.3 special program. Okay,
dua
Patrick, what do we have next?
aliran
So
yang
next we'll be
berlawanan
covering the upcoming events for the new version.
terlalu
That's right.
berbahaya
We've already
Fer.
mentioned the Test of Courage event, and I'm sure plenty of you were wondering about that, so let's start there.
Aha! You must be here to participate in the Test of Courage. I can already see a dark aura surrounding the two of you.
Jepang Barat
You
ya.
carelessly go running into the event.
Jepang
All it'll
Barat
take
apa
is
Jepang
one little
Selatan ya,
misstep.
aku lupa.
The darkness will swallow you up.
Bisa.
Some strange and unusual things may occur along the way. If
Siapa
you
nih,
ever feel
Muzan,
you
Cuk?
can't handle it, you may withdraw from the event at any time. This is your
Muzan,
last
Cuk.
chance. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the test of courage. Enter at your own risk.
That was pretty interesting.
Muzan anjir.
Yeah, I mean,
Ada
it
artefak baru
is
juga
a
pas
test of
banget
courage.
bagi
So I'm
Nilo
sure
dan
there'll be some
Baladar
scary
ya.
stuff going on there.
Itu artefak yang bawah tuh kan naikin
Anyway,
ini Eivor belum
To successfully
Burgion
clear this
sama
event,
apa itu
we'll
aku
be facing a series of little tests.
40% sama
What's
apa lagi
this?
deskripsi
Tests,
itu.
you say?
Yes, that's right. Word has it that if you walk around the test of courage, you might find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the
Ini
rules
nyari
down,
yokai
so
kah?
I'll do a quick introduction.
Bukan.
Basically, travelers
Ya,
will
ya.
have to control a bouncing bar to bounce the ball and use
Anjir.
skill ball effects to break as many bricks as
Oke
possible.
oke. Nice
Okay,
nice.
I'm liking this one. Seems pretty straightforward.
During the
New-
game,
new
travelers
event?
will be able to trigger elemental reactions to break bricks more effectively.
Nice! It even has elemental reactions.
Yeah, we can control the character to move the bar. When the character we're
Oh, kalau
using is either pyro, hydro, cryo,
bisa
or
diganti
electro,
ya.
the corresponding element will be applied to the bar. By switching characters, you can change the element of the bar.
Okay,
Ada
all
kamu
the
puh
pieces
tak
are
spam
falling into
blessing
place
nanti.
now. The bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks also have their
Buat
own
ini.
elements. So causing a
Blessingnya
skill
di apa?
ball of one element to hit blocks
Oh,
of different
bisa
elements
gitu,
will
anjir.
trigger elemental
Bisa
reactions.
dua
There,
gininya
how'd I do?
bola.
Yep, you nailed it.
Yes,
The
bayangin
bar
aja.
will add the element corresponding to your
Lo
character.
ginilah dari sekarang
Besides
sebelum
triggering
gini,
reactions the way you just
sebelum
mentioned,
KKN ya.
if a skill ball is
Biar
already
nambah-nambah
infused
ini.
by an element and it hits
Primo,
the
ya
bar,
kan?
it will also trigger a reaction, causing the skill ball to have some additional effects. When preparing your team, you can equip modifiers to receive various buff effects, which will help you successfully clear the challenge.
Gak usah bahas Jerman. Waduh,
Also, when there are less than a certain amount of bricks on the board and the ball
Hitler
lands
kalah
another
ya
hit,
lawan ini.
the bar will unleash fireworks.
Kaisar.
Whoa, cool.
Yeah. Travelers can
Kaisar
utilize this
katanya.
effect to break some bricks that would normally be difficult to hit directly.
It's like
Saat bintang 4-nya belum lilik ya, Cuk.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need to select
Cuma
characters of the right
isi yang
element,
baru tuh
equip
langsung
the appropriate
Faruzan.
modifiers, and use
Si
different
Miku.
elemental reactions to break bricks and score more points.
And then travelers will be able to use their points to exchange
Itu kayak
rewards in the event
Guru.
shop, correct?
That's right. Also,
Guru
travelers will have the
belum sih.
option of teaming up and playing the event together in co-op mode.
Oh, looks like a lot of fun.
Bisa
Yeah,
co-op
super
kah?
fun.
Yeah, in addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will
Oh,
even
bukan
have
yang
a
ini yang
chance
dapat
to meet
guru
with some
tuh.
good friends again.
Apakah
So be
real
sure to
tuh
check out this new
leak
event.
yang itu gak?
All right, let's move on to our next event.
Okay, so next up, we have a race event called Across the Wilderness. Your objective, collecting
Mundo ya?
balloons.
Woo!
I don't
Ah,
know, seems like the Wanderer's
Nice.
abilities might come in real handy here.
nice. Sudah
I know,
lama ya.
right?
So, in this event, each stage will have wilderness balloons scattered all around.
Sudah lama itu udah
Travelers will need to
kemarin
find as many wilderness
baru
balloons as
dia.
possible within the time limit to earn increasingly better rewards. So during
Pas
the
ini ya
challenge,
Razor tuh.
travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So it'll be important to assemble the right team depending
Dari
on the
Tokai.
trait and terrain of
Tokai
the
itu.
challenge area.
Riko,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so travelers can
Ketajir,
also use
apa Riko
something
Cat?
called the wilderness compass
Tapi dia
to
coba
obtain
ladar di
various
akun Ganyu.
buffs, which include enhanced jumping
PT 66
capabilities,
read on.
increased movement speed,
Gas ya.
or unlimited stamina, etc.
Ooh, cool.
However, you can only claim one buff during each challenge. You must
Sambil
consume
cari
blessed
arti barunya
energy
tuh.
to use the compass and gain the
Nah,
selected buff.
bosnya
You may charge the compass up by finding wilderness
apa nih
balloons
si
or
Wanderer?
interacting with blessed energy in the challenge.
Oh,
Or you
nggak
can
cuma di
always wait
Mundo
for the
anjir.
compass to passively charge over time.
Kayaknya semua
This
region ya.
event looks pretty crazy. It's almost like watching
Ai
parkour.
Sepong aja collab sama
Yeah, there are
Aespa,
two
masa
different
Genshin
kinds of
tidak
wilderness
bang?
balloons in
Nah,
these challenges. The first is harvest balloons,
kamu ingin memicu
which
perang,
will
Per.
increase the overall progress of your search for
Perang-
wilderness balloons. The other kind is
perang ini,
sonar balloons,
perang
which will
masa lalu.
cause several harvest balloons to
Ntar itu
appear
ada yang
around you for a
transparan
set
anjir.
amount of time.
That's awesome.
So there will be 5 stages available for this event, and travelers will need to consider the
Buset,
conditions and terrain of each stage to come up with the best way to complete
Di
it.
mana tuh?
Also, travelers
pelabuhan.
may team up in co-op mode for challenges.
Ooh, more chances to play together. I love it.
Yeah,
Bisa
same.
co-op ya.
Okay, let's move on to our next event.
Everyone's favorite game of hide and seek is back with the Wintries event. And of course, this is going to be
Mantap
another
ya.
co-op event. And I, for one, am super excited for it.
There's nothing like a good co-op. Many of you might
Sembunyi-sembunyi
already
gaming
be
is
familiar with
back
this
nih.
event by now, but there have been a few changes. Let me introduce what travelers can expect to see.
Sekarang bisa
this
masak
time
karena nggak
around.
tahu cu.
We can probably skip some of the basics this time. You know, players
Kayaknya
either
bisa sih,
hide
Indra.
or
Dia kan hidup
seek.
mandiri gitu.
And then
Okay, wait a second. There
Tak
actually might be
seperti
some new
ibunya,
travelers out there who've never
mengurung
seen this
diri,
event before.
tidak bisa masak. Nah,
Why don't you start with some of the basics?
halo bang,
Right,
halo
good
bang
point.
Gustian.
Okay, let's start at the beginning.
Udah lama nggak ada
This
guru,
is
moga
a
aja ada
game with
nanti.
a
Nah,
long history
semoga
in
aja.
Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into 2 different sides, the rebels and the hunter. You will need to use skills and master the art of hiding or chasing down others to win this event. The goal of the hunter is to capture all the rebels, while the rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting caught by the hunter.
Okay, that's straightforward enough. So what else you got for us?
Well,
Nah,
some travelers may remember playing as the rebels and getting caught early in the game. Once that would happen, all you could do was spectate and watch the rest as the others continue playing. But this time around, once you're caught, you'll still be
Illusion
able to
Beacon.
participate in the match even in observer mode.
Ooh.
Ah, ini kan kayak sebelumnya.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you're in observer mode, you can't be seen by other players and will receive the illusory beacon skill.
Maksud ngatain Raiden
This
gue
skill
anjay.
will allow you to
Kamu
place a random beacon
kamu
to
langsung,
confuse the hunter.
apa namanya,
If your beacon successfully tricks the hunter and is destroyed, then the hunter will suffer an
offended
obscured vision.
gaming bener.
So even after you've been captured, you can be like a little ghost trying to help your
Raiden
teammates by
kita
disrupting
ya,
the hunter.
bukan
That's
bukan
pretty
anda
fun.
aja.
And at least you won't have to
Hehe.
sit there and just watch the rest of the match anymore.
Exactly.
Gambar
But what
penguin,
does
Cuk.
the hunter
Gambar
get this
penguin
time?
yang
I mean, we gotta keep
paluar
it fair.
itu.
Some new windward
Nah.
arts have been added for both the hunter and the rebels. The hunter will now be able to use the hunter's net. This net can be thrown and will remove any rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the hunter.
Nah, tidak, apakah koneksiku? Dia sih. Streamnya jalan ya? Jalan kan?
That a rebel was detected.
Refresh dulu.
Sealing beacon skill. This skill will allow you to
GBN berulah ya.
deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain
Nanti mampir
invisible
lagi ya
while
bang,
you're
baterai
around
udah
that
mau
beacon.
habis sekalian itu
All
daily.
play-
Oke. Maaf bang ya. Biasa ya. GBN berulah.
Some primo gems and other rewards. The good stuff. So be sure to check it out.
Oh, that's awesome. Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends. Okay, our next event is a combat-based event.
Time for some combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a forbidden place warded by dust and sand,
Apa ini?
mysterious foes have assembled lines of
Misdanyan, Realm of
fortifications
Sand.
to stop your
Kayak
coming.
gini kah? Ya Kuniki atau apa?
That's right, a new edition of Misty Dungeon will arrive in version 3.3. Stoked.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty
benar.
Dungeon. Each has a different ley line disorder, and travelers will have to adjust
iya
their
kan.
teams according to the
Hayukk
disorder's effects
Kuniki.
and the distribution of enemies. There will also be trial
Bukan.
characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient runes, we can power up the control array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial, additional benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the ley line disorder's
Spec.
effects or revive and heal your
ER-nya
team.
ER-nya Genshin.
If it
ER
were up to
apa?
me, I'd say just go for all the challenges.
Lagi recharge-nya Genshin.
I know, but travelers should keep in mind that the challenge objective for each trial might be different. So be sure to check the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can look forward to winning Primo Gems
Ini yang ada
and
kena
other
ban,
various
Cak.
prizes. Yes.
Ooh, I
Oh.
like prizes.
And last but not least,
Tiap ini
version
berarti.
3.3 will also
Yang
have
kemarin tuh
mainline
tiap berapa
overflow
ya?
events.
Dua
Travelers can look forward to
Dua
saving
apa
their
satu
resin
gini?
and earning more
Cooldown-nya tuh.
Mora and experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers out there still leveling up
Hilden
all
aja
their new
ngajak
characters.
Yungko bang,
And
nah
even
itu
if you
real
don't
tuh kan.
need those resources now, it's always good to stock up and have more on hand. Am I right?
Yeah. So
Jungkook
travelers looking
pentas
to
di atas
upgrade their
panggung ya.
characters won't want to miss this.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff.
In addition to the new version's limited time
Nah.
events, version 3.3 will also be adding a new permanent game mode called
Genius Invocation
TCG.
TCG. Nah, main
But
geplek
before we
ya.
get into that, let's
Genshin
take
punya
another
geplek.
quick break and enjoy a redemption code. Yay!
Slap that
Yeay,
code on
bodo
the
amat
screen.
dengan TCG. Kodenya, nah mantap. Aja. Nih os jadi gini aja. Mata-mata buat visil ya. Tuan Putri dia pakai gini, pakai Obelix. Counter pakai Digimon. Nah. Bang, aku telat kamu, Ri. Usap dulu, Ri. Udah diumumin yang reran, udah. Cok. Nanti yang reran tuh sih gini. Udin sama Asep. Finali TCG ya, geplek gaming. Geplek versi Genshin. Nah, itu thank you. Thank you, Ndra. Kon nih kasar. Rerannya Raiden sama Ayatu, Cuk. Akun keduamu nyari
Welcome
Ayatu
back,
kan?
everyone. During our journey into that, we've stumbled across several NPCs talking about a game called Genius Invocation.
Piece yang
TCG.
pertama
So next,
si Wanderer
we'll
sama
introduce
itu,
this card game that's been taking to bat by storm.
Wanderer sama itu ya. Yang kedua
we already revealed that Genius Invocation
Ayatu
TCG
sama
is a
Raiden.
card game where we can challenge various characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But there is actually a legend behind this game. It is said that a
It's
young
time to
guy in Sumeru
duel
found an ancient
aja.
casket of tomes
Nggak
in the
ngerti.
attic. He opened it and discovered that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King had been captured inside.
What a name.
It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match,
Shit.
the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's
Mantap tuh,
team
Ri.
and was sealed away in the casket of tomes.
Cuma
Ouch, game over.
PT 60.
After being
Gacha
unexpectedly released by the
70 lah.
kid, the Crocodile
70
King
tambah
possesses him
18.
and helps him to gradually climb the
apa?
ranks to
20 lah aku
becoming
punya
a
tuh.
legendary TCG player.
90.
Nice. Hang on, is it just
90.
me or does that kind of sound like the plot to a
90 kali
light novel or
gacha
something?
sih.
You're right. It turns out that Yai Publishing House is about to release a hit light novel
Let's
series
go, ya.
based on Genius
Senjata Ayatu
Invocation
2.
TCG.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yai Publishing House.
Maybe. But anyway, that's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be. So it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So while you were telling us about the story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective is to defeat all of your opponent's character cards.
That's right.
Ada
Also,
efeknya.
there are many features and mechanics in the game that resonate with Genshin Impact's gameplay, so it shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang
Kok
of.
ada itu
Right, I
si
even saw some elemental reactions
si
in the
siapa namanya?
gameplay.
Wah,
Yup, a
Genti.
constructed deck must
Terus tadi
contain
itu yang di
character
Lui
cards.
itu ya.
And as you might expect, these character cards have a normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst. So when a character card deals
Overload.
elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element.
Nah, itu
Then
siapa tuh?
you can switch to a character card
itu
of a
ya.
different element
Bentar
and use
itu.
their abilities to trigger an elemental reaction.
Signora.
Did you guys notice
Signora
that
apa
there are
ya,
even
Lis?
monster character cards? Can we even make a deck of like
Wah, anjir
just
itu
the
tim
monsters from
Hilly
the
Curut
game?
anjir.
You're really getting into this, Max.
Anjir keren kali tim Hilly Curut.
I like card games.
Who doesn't?
So in Genius Invocation TCG, all actions require you to spend elemental dice. Each round, both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in the world of Teyvat.
You're right. So, in addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The
Omni
elemental dice required for a
itu yang
character
pojok
card to
kiri
perform
itu,
an action correspond
yang
to the
warna-warni
character's
itu.
element. So, for example, a Pyro character like Diluc needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action. Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
Also, elemental dice can be used to switch characters or play a variety of other cards, such as equipment cards, event cards, and support cards. All these cards create the potential for a variety of strategies.
Right. While
Amin
playing
sih Karo,
Genius
pernah
Invocation
jatuh 2.
TCG, travelers can
Apakah
earn player
real
experience,
itu?
which will increase your player level. As your level increases, you'll be able to challenge more characters and NPCs. By completing
Oh, ada
challenges, you
levelnya.
may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins can be exchanged in the event shop for cards, or
Oke,
can
ada
even unlock
ada
dynamic skins for certain
ada
cards.
primonya
Dynamic
bertigas
skins? Those are cards that have moving illustrations, right?
That's right.
karena ada
All
primo
character cards can
bertigas.
unlock a dynamic skin. After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental
yang
burst.
Ketsuno Kudas.
And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode.
Bisa
So,
ajak
be
duel
sure to give
teman
it a
ya.
try.
Travelers should note that playing against your friends or other travelers won't count towards any leaderboards or provide any
Berarti
rewards.
GB aja nih bisa.
So you can relax.
Tapi nggak tahu
It's
sih
all
dapat
just for fun.
apa nggak poinnya. Kalau
Okay,
duel temen
that's everything we have for Genius
Kalau
Invocation
dapet,
TCG, and
itu bisa
that brings us to the
di-GB
end of
sih.
today's special program.
GB poin ya.
So, what did you think?
Why does it have to be over? There's so much that this version has to
Look
offer.
solid.
Yeah, I can't even take it all in right now.
Solid
I'm
3
just
kali ya.
super stoked to be
Ada map
part of
baru
this.
ada Ri.
I think
Maaf.
I just gained some Kuguryoku points just doing this whole thing. So
Hearthstone like. Hearthstone tuh yang
The
ini
new
ya.
characters look cool.
I know. What about Scaramouche?
Yang LOL tuh bukan.
Like that's
I
insane.
know, that's awesome.
That's super dope.
That's awesome. And I cannot wait to play in some of these events and mini games. I'm super excited. This was so fun. I'm really glad that we got to do the special program together.
I'm so happy I got to come back for another special program. This is my 3rd time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one.
Emot
So
Roger,
thank you
bisa
for
emot Roger.
having me.
Udah ya, ya
Doesn't it
makasih
feel good?
kodenya
Yes,
Bang.
doesn't it feel good?
Oke.
It feels special.
Seriously, I'm
Terima
feel
kasih ke
special?
Genshin ya.
I really do. Thank you.
Maaf apa cuk, aku lagi di kampus sing di
Well,
HP.
I think this is
Fokus-
the end of our special program.
Fokus menjadi
So,
cuk.
I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll
Dan
see you in
memberi-
game. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Apa sih anjir? Oke ya, balik lagi. Audio. Oke. Iya. 20 kali ya. 20 berapa jadi ya? 89 siapa nih? Bang Egza. Ngapain Bang Egza? Di kampus nonton live stream, iya. Biar menjadi gokil itu. Nah, login sekarang si sepuh ya. Bakso koncol anjay. Nah dia sekarang bot real. Botnya di kantin. Kantin gini kari. Bu Mang kah? Bu Mang apa Dadong? Nah daily dulu. Kalau mau ikut nih Bang Egza. Nindra juga. Saya akan bertarung dalam batas waktu. Nah ini nanti aja dah. Jawab pertanyaan. 45 menit ya. Ikut gas. Kamu kehilangan sesuatu, kurang material, kamu mau pergi mencari inspirasi. Q&A. Apa namanya? Sum terbis kan? Peneliti keliling menyebut dirinya sebagai Darius. Ada salah satu darsan di ekonomi yang memiliki banyak Darius mengenai elemen dan meneliti bagian hal berkaitan dengan elemen. Apa nama darsan ini? Aduh, aku nggak tahu sih ini anjir. Oke lah. Itu apa tuh? Usir para wisitier. Suruh ngapain ini? Suruh turu. Itu disuruh ngusir gini ya, tupai. Tupai itu apa itu ya? Bentar. Ke sana gimana? Buset. Oh ya Bang Egza, kamu jangan lupa ikut giveaway ya. Besok ada giveaway ya. Jangan lupa diisi itu formnya di gini community post. Keluar woi. Nah, giveaway dapet kutangnya Yelan, mau aku Bang ikut mata nih. Tang Yelan gitu anjir. Aduh, yang mana ini ya? Oke. Masih lag ya? Wah, masih ternyata sih. Semoga besok tidak nge-lag ya.
これこそが知恵の伝道、呼びかけに応える星たちよ。はっはっはっ、はびこりなさい。
Ikuti nasai.
知識のあなたに手をつなぎましょう。はっせっ
Nah, oke. Ya, hampir setengah lah. Ini sekarang hari apa ya? Domain belum dibuka, Sabtu. Sekarang hari Jumat. Apa besok aja? Simpen buat besok. Ada 3 sih. Jangan dah. Nah, nih gas kalau mau ikut domain. Oh ya Bang Eza, tanggal berapa ini KKN ya? Januari apa Desember? Ikut ngambil juga kah? Defend. Anjir. Coba kiri demek ini coba bagus sekali nih sih. Bang pamit. Pamit Bang, kuota sekarat Bang. Lanjut Rik. Itu yang ngapain mau di kampus jam segini? Nonton Piala Dunia. Antar KD antar KD bimbingan. Oke, lanjut cuy. Lanjut ya. Ke retreat tapi kurang. Nah ini defense kurang. Kurang gaming ya. Nah, hyper belum gaming ya. Api Kridemek Kilometer Mastery. Oke. Bentar, eventnya lagi berapa sih? 9 jamur. Oh, besok bisa ya, hari Minggu terakhir. Ini kalau anjir, coba itu ada retreat sih, bagus itu ya. Bisa nggak aku dapat gacha nih 120 ya pas Raiden muncul? Kayaknya bisa sih. Saatnya ngepush Primogam. Healing bonus sih bangki. Nah, ini Indramu domain kan, Ra? Sama Bang Egza juga. Iya, Mas. Nah, ini Bang Egza. Apa itu? Aku tuh kah? Kick. Nah, achievement lumayan ya. 3.200. Lagi 30 menit sih. Menit gaming ya. Mana banduannya bang? Nah, ini cuk. Nih. Pakai besok tuh Ker. Besok ada giveaway cuk. Jangan lupa ikut bang. Siapa tahu Anda menang ya. Di gini cuk, community posting ya. Jangan lupa dicek. Raiden Tomaikan. Oh ya Bang Egza, mana Bang Egza nih? Ngabisin resin kah Bang Egza? Berisik kali kursiku sih. Udah berumur. Hanya Samisi pengen nasi. Nah. Detik ya. Hyper Bloom Gober. Nah. Dapat senjata Yatu kasih siapa ya? Misal Keia seri lah. Atau siapa ya? Ayatunya ya mungkin ya. Coba ya. Tapi CNI Januari sih. Tahu. Lima kali lagi. Oke. Turu game. Turu Gaming. Jadi tutup mata. Ncar speknya mau merem anjir. Ya kok ngantuk kali. Ngantuk game anjir.
見切りました。ソーランの憩い。や、稲光。すなわち永遠なり。
Ntar siapa tak chat tuh? Oh Indra tak chat aja jadi 5. Anjir aku mengirim ke Bang Egza tuh sebenernya. Berarti kemarin mau convert aja ya Indra ya. Itu sih real ya. Itu sih real. Itu sih real tuh. Kemarin convert 4, sekarang convert 1 5, lagi convert. Memang gigi itu bangke.
無我の境
Lagi berapa tuh? Oke. Nah, paling besok aku gini ya. Kayaknya ngambil gini aja sih, bahan senjata aja. Apa tuh paling jelek? 80 20 tambah 80 100 100 tambah 180 bangke. Easy. Too easy for Raiden aja. Oh, kalau jalan ada gini juga sih. Ada kayak bunga-bunga gitu sih. Oke. Kelar sih, oke. Kita lah. Turu sih. Turu ya. Ini koneksiku gokil kali sih. First media gangguan kayaknya. Oke ya. Mana ada turu. Oke ya, live streamingnya sampai di sini dulu ya. Mau sampai ketemu di live streaming selanjutnya. Besok jangan lupa ada giveaway ya. Ditunggu giveaway. Bye bye. Mau ganti stop kontak aja, stop kontak. Matanya kah? Udah, Cuk. Udah dulu, Cuk. Bye bye.